Good day and definitely welcome to the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. We're standing here outside at the Donkin Reserve where the leader of the Democratic Alliance, Maimane, has had a press briefing to address some of the issues that have come out not only, in the later stages of the elections that we've been holding through, but the campaigning specifically, but as well as, to give a firm stance of, the DA's stance, in using Tata Nelson Mandela as part of their campaigning, and as well as to respond to some of the issues that they faced throughout the campaigning season that we are walking out of now, going into the elections tomorrow. Good morning, Musi, and how are you this morning?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Musi, can you tell us a bit about, we do understand you've said to the press this morning the stance of the Democratic Alliance in using Utata Nelson Mandela's name. Can you tell us a bit about that, as well as, going forward and your vision, to incorporate Utata's vision and methods as a leader?
Any given nation celebrates its founding father. Utata Nelson Mandela stood for values of non-racialism, a South Africa for all, and an inclusive South Africa. Today, those values no longer exist in the ANC. The ANC has sought to a divisive campaign where they've split us on the basis of race to say black people this side and white people that side. That is not the South Africa we seek to build. And therefore today I wanted to be strong and say, I'm not here to contest for Tata Nelson Mandela's membership. His membership is with the ANC. But his values are timeless, are values that South Africans must fight for. And therefore today, they have misquoted me, they've told lies, they are misleading the people of South Africa. We must always remember, if you are for ordinary people of South Africa, we will stand for them. We will stand for a non-racial South Africa, a South Africa where we can create work for South Africans, a South Africa where ultimately we can deliver jobs and ultimately deliver better services. They've then gone on record to say, I said I voted in 1994, which I've never said to the effect. I said I voted for the party of Utata in 1999 when I first voted, which highlights, more importantly, about the fact that those values are gone. The ANC has become what President Mbeki described, an ignoble, parasitic organization, and what Kgalema Motlanthe is now speaking about, saying they are rudderless, leaderless, and this nation is on autopilot. We need to look forward to a future in which South Africa belongs to all. And best we get onto the campaign trail about how we can show South Africans a plan for jobs and a plan for their future.
Musi, we've also heard you this morning speaking about some racial slurs that have come out of, the party's campaigning that have offended the Democratic Alliance. Can we speak about that as well?
Absolutely. This idea that, as Jacob Zuma has put it, to say that black people must simply vote for the ANC because they are black. In which world do you simply say that voting must be on the basis of racial lines? It undermines the very democratic project of South Africa. Our project must mean it's not a choice between a black government or a white government. It's a choice between a corrupt government and a clean government. A choice between a government that creates work and a government that doesn't. A choice between a government that fails at delivery of basic services and one that doesn't. That's the choice for South Africans, and we're saying we're the only government that has got a track record as far as job creation is concerned, a track record in terms of delivery of basic services. What Jacob Zuma has sought to do is make this about race, regressing the rest of us as South Africans into what a historical place where we're divided on racial lines. Because if he doesn't stop at racial lines, he will soon go on to dividing us on the basis of language, dividing us on the basis of religion. Suddenly it will be Christians this side, Muslims that side. You can't build a democratic project like that. Mine is to always stand up and say, how do we build an inclusive South Africa, a non-racial South Africa, and a South Africa for all, where black, white, Indian, and colored can work together towards a prosperous nation? He doesn't seem to have that vision, and clearly we must champion it and take it going forward.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Much.
Well, that was the leader of the Democratic Alliance saying that they stand firm in their choice to use Utata Nelson Mandela and, learn from him and take from him as a leader to go forward as the Democratic Alliance. But for now, it's back to you in studio.